One thing about my reading lately is it's not been going well. I've been having a really low rating average, or really low average book rating. I've been having a bad time. And so today I am going to close out the chapter on 3 series. One of them I don't know if there's going to be more books, but I'm at least catching up. And the other 2 I'm fairly certain are complete, and we're going to cash out on them. And I am excited to be able to count them as completed, because I feel like I'm in the middle of so many series and I just keep starting more without finishing the ones that I just leave it with like 1 book left, and it's like, girl, just get it together. So with that being said, the 3 books we are reading in today's video are going to be Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonam-Young. This is, the first book was Out on a Limb, which I did quite enjoy, and then I think this is the only one of her books I have not read. I've read Out of the Woods. This is going to be Out of the Woods. I've read Out on a Limb. I've read Next. Oh, I don't know what Set the Record Straight. Have not read that. So I guess that was a lie. What is that? Now I gotta look it up. Is that real? I've never heard of that. Set the Record Straight. Oh, it's a Christmas novella. So I basically have read it all. Okay. So this says, high school sweethearts Sarah and Caleb Linwood have always been a sure thing. For the past 17 years, they have had each other's backs through all of life's ups and downs, but Sarah has begun to wonder, who is she without her other half? When she takes on a project of her own, a fundraising gala in memory of her late mother, Sarah wants nothing more than to prove to herself and to everyone else that she doesn't need Caleb's help to succeed. She's still her mother's daughter, after all, independent and capable, that is, until the event fails and Caleb steps in uninvited to save the day. The rift that follows unearths a decade of grievances and doubts. Are they truly the same people when they got married at 19, and are they supposed to be? In a desperate attempt to fix what they fear is breaking, Sarah and Caleb make a spontaneous decision to get out of their comfort zone and join a grueling hiking trip intended to guide couples through rough patches. What follows is life-affirming comedy of errors as 2 nature-adverse people fight their way out of the woods in order to find their way back to their roots. Then we have got the final book in this little small town, what is this called? Dream Harbor series. And I do think this is the last book in the series, and this is called The Daisy Chain Flower Shop. This one I am excited for. This series has been very hit or miss for me, but the covers are so cute, and the spines literally look like a little town. It's very fresh. Daisy is fed up with being unlucky in love, and since Mayor Kelly declared her beloved flower shop cursed in one of his infamous visions, business has been slow. Dream Harbor newcomer Elliot has been adjusting to small town life following his own relationship turmoil, and until now he's avoided the flower shop at all costs. If the mayor is correct, he doesn't need any more bad luck in his life. When he finds himself walking through the door of Daisy Chain Flower Shop, he doesn't expect it to be a life-changing moment, but as the petals blossom in the sunlight, the luckiest woman in Dream Harbor finally find the love when you're least expecting it. And then we have got Unbound by Peyton, Corinne. It does actually infuriate me on like imaginable levels that this cover is not the same as the other covers, and it did not come in that style. Disgusts me. But I did actually find this used at the used bookstore like almost immediately after it came out. So I am looking forward to this. I've given both books in this series 4 stars. This one says Paloma Blake is, at best, antagonistic, but beneath her hairspray, attitude, and promiscuity is a scared girl whose trauma runs deep. Still, the walls she's built are strong, ensuring everyone only sees Paloma's sexy facade. Everyone except for Bennett. Bennett Reiner, the Waterfell Wolves' carefully controlled neurodivergent goalie, has his routines and sticks to them, which helps him keep a hold on his OCD compulsions and the crippling anxiety that comes with them. The quiet, meticulous Bennett sees everything, especially the girl beneath Paloma's ever-present mask, and he always has. Years ago, their love was fierce and consuming and collapsed so suddenly that the aftermath devastated them both. Now their worlds are tangling again, and they must decide whether what's left between them is worth rebuilding or risk being broken all over again. So these are going to be the 3 books we read in this video, and we can check these series off the list. I just wanted to let you guys know that the first book we're going to be reading for this video is Out of the Woods. I did not think this was going to be the first book because I was waiting on the audio for it, but I'm in need of another physical read. Y'all, my process is I will request everything on audio and then decide whatever I can't get on audio will be my next physical read, and then whenever I need another physical read, I'll look and see whatever has the longest wait still on audio, and that'll be my next physical read, or just whatever I'm feeling. And this one was the only thing I was still waiting on for this chunk of books that I had requested. And this is really short. It's like barely 300 pages, and I think besides like maybe a Christmas book, this might be my last Hannah Bonam-Young book to read, because I have read Out on a Limb, I've read both Next books, and I've read People Watching, and I'll read People Watching was bad, but I will read People Pleasing whenever it came out, and I've read a couple of short stories by her, but I'm excited to get into this one. This is a second chance romance between like a married couple on the brink of divorce. So we'll see how that goes. Before I go and finish and go take a shower, I am going to tell you guys that I am about 40% of the way through Out of the Woods, and I'm checking in with you guys now because I don't know how much of this I'm going to read tonight, and I don't want to have to pause, like get cozy, get into it, and then pause to tell you about it. So we're telling you about it now. So this is about Sarah and Caleb, and I will say I already love how much intersection we have with Bo and Win from the first book in this series, Out on a Limb. They're all up in it. So Sarah is Win's best friend. We meet her in book 1. We get a little bit about like their childhood together, so on and so forth. Win has been with her husband Caleb. They got together when they were 14 years old, had this whirlwind romance. And Sarah went through some difficult things. Her mom and Win's mom lived together in an apartment. They were both really young moms, single moms, raising their daughters together. And it was a really like beautiful situation for them. But then Sarah's mom fell ill with ALS and died while she was still in high school. Through all this, she's been with Caleb. He comes from a very well-to-do family who does not like that he is with this, like, somebody who doesn't come from that same high esteem family that he does, and so his family kind of hates her. So we start out this book, every other chapter is past and present timeline. I'm gonna be honest, I'm so bored with the past timelines, like I so don't care. But in the present timelines, Sarah is doing this really big ALS fundraiser, and when she isn't meeting her goals, Caleb goes in with this huge donation to try to save face, and this pisses her right off. They go a month without speaking when Win suggests to her that they go on this wilderness couples excursion retreat situation that she learned about from one of her friends, and that maybe it would be good for them. They're not really outdoorsy people, but Sarah thinks maybe this is just what her and Caleb need to reconnect and get back on track. So when she presents him with this opportunity, he agrees, and now they are out in the woods. Out of the woods. They're in the fucking woods, okay? They are hiking, they're doing all these things, and they're trying to reconnect in their relationship. So that's really the vibes so far. Second chance romance is always hit or miss for me, so we'll see. Okay, I have not made it much further in Out of the Woods. I'm going to be honest, my focusing on physical reads has been really, really bad because my mental health is really, really bad. We are dealing with some personal family situations right now that has just been kind of consuming of the brain. But I am about to start the audio for Unbound. And every time I look at this book, I get pissed. Not because this is not a beautiful cover, it is, but I have the other two books in the like this style cover. And I don't like this series enough to rebuy those two books to match this book, and this book didn't come in that style. But, you know, we're going to get into Unbound. This is the third book in this. Their first one's Unsteady, Unloved, and this, I don't know the name of the series, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, the series sounds really bad. Ooh, a playlist. Okay, I will admit that a playlist that is this long is a bit dramatic, but we will see. What do we have on here that I know? The Prophecy by Taylor Swift. I'm only going to know the Taylor Swift songs, I can guarantee it, as we go through. There's some Gracie, some Billy, some Lana, a bunch of people I've never heard of. Some Stevie Nicks, some Somber. There's also some that I might know the song, I just don't like know the name of it. Champagne Problems. That being a song in this is kind of alarming. But yeah, I fear I just know Champagne Problems and The Prophecy. So I am going to get going on Unbound by Peyton, Corinne, and I will check in with y'all when I am about halfway through, but I'm currently fighting with my printer, so I'm gonna get her whipped into shape, and then I will get started with Unbound. If my face looks fucked up, it's because I just coughed, and then that led to me just choking. Anywho, we have got some updates. Finished halfway through. Let's get into it. Last night I finished Out of the Woods by Miss Hannah Bonam-Young, and I did give this 4 stars. Keep your eyes peeled because there will be a ranking all of her books video coming up because I've read all of them. She has a Christmas book that's like coming out physically this year that I have not read, but I've read I think everything else. So I am going to, besides like maybe some short stories or like audio only situation, I'm gonna do a ranking of like her physical books coming up here soon. But this was a 4 star. So in the second half of the book, we really get to continue to see Caleb and Sarah's relationship grow. And I just love how much Win and Bo from book 1 are incorporated into this story. It's giving so much more of that interconnected found family aspect than the like next to you, next of kin books did. And I've obviously only read people pleasing, so I just love that, like, getting to revisit those characters and for those characters to actually be important in the next story and not just like a small little cameo is so fun to me. But we get to continue seeing them going through this reignite camping experience and really becoming friends with the other people there. And I really enjoyed getting to see Sarah develop this relationship with Libby, who the people running the camp is this lesbian couple, Helen and Yvonne, and Yvonne's daughter died, and now their granddaughter, who's 10, Libby, they're raising her. And getting to see Sarah form this like relationship with Libby, and Libby come to her and be like, yeah, like my grandmother said that your mom died too, and that if I wanted to talk to somebody, maybe you'd be a good person to talk to. And she's like, well, do you want to talk to me? And she's like, well, I don't know anybody else with a dead mom. And just really getting to see them connect on that, and getting to see Sarah be like, yeah, like it sucks, like it does suck. And getting to see her be like, well, what did you like love most about your mom? And she's like, I don't know, she was my mom. And she's like, so everything? And she's like, yeah, like, oh my god, it had brought me to tears on many occasions. And then getting to see like something pretty significant happen towards the end of the book. Obviously I'm not going to tell you, but getting to see how they worked through that and how that helped heal some really broken things in their relationship and for them to move forward was really good. 4 stars. And then this is giving 5-star feelings, which I did not anticipate even a little bit. Also, whenever I read a book for my video, My Summer Romances, where the main male character's name was Theo, and the male character in this book's name is Bennett, and my friend's 2 kids, or 2 of her 3 kids, her 2 sons are Theo and Bennett, and it's very much so throwing me off. Like, what are the odds? But this is about Paloma and Bennett, and Paloma and Bennett, we are getting a lot, again, this is a lot of the interconnected with mainly the characters from Unsteady, like Reese and Sadie, but we are getting some of Ro and Maddie, is that his name? From a second book, Unloved? Yes. But, anywho, so we have got this book. It is a past-present timeline between Paloma and Bennett. They knew each other, say, like, how long ago? Freshman year. What's the now timeline? That's also a then. That's also then. That's also then. That's also then. Now. Oh, it just says now. I think they're seniors. But, so we're flipping back from their freshman year to now, and in their freshman year, Paloma and Bennett had a very close personal dating relationship. Paloma, we don't necessarily know exactly what has happened to her. We know that she has a unhealthy relationship and feelings towards intimacy, feeling like it's something she has to do. We've learned that she had a very inappropriate relationship with a much older man when she was very young. Her mom was a drug addict. We've learned all of these like very serious things that have happened in Paloma's life. And then we also have Bennett, who has OCD and autism, and how that's really impacted his everyday life as well as his ability to play hockey and his like relationships. Like, he doesn't like to be touched without a warrant, without somebody telling them like, okay, I'm gonna hug you now. He has a hard time reading people's emotions, so it's impacted a lot of his like relationships. He doesn't have like the biggest, he's never really wanted to be intimate with anybody because he doesn't really like being touched. And so when he and Paloma start opening up to each other and he starts learning these little things about her, like maybe she's not getting enough to eat at home, maybe she doesn't have the funds to buy food at school, he is showing up for her. His favorite thing to do when he's like overwhelmed and his like, he just needs to decompress is to cook. So he loves to cook for her, and he's just doing all of these little things to show up for Paloma in ways that nobody ever has before. But one thing leads to another, and they end up, I have not gotten to the point in the book yet where they have broken up, but something happens and they break up. Then in our present timeline, they are being kind of like pushed together by a bunch of different circumstances and reconnecting, and that spark is still there. We know that Paloma did something that devastated Bennett, and it also broke her heart too, but now she's trying to come to him with like, I want to start over, like I've been working on myself, like I want to be your friend. And he's like, well, I don't want to be your friend, like I want to be more. And she's like, me too, but like I don't want to hurt you, like I don't want to continue breaking the things that I have already broken. And getting to see her work through all of these traumas in her past, and seeing Bennett also working through his own insecurities, and then being able to support each other in ways nobody else ever has. Oh, is so good. So this is feeling like a 5-star, and I'm very excited about it. We already have a 4-star. I mean, to be honest, the Daisy Chain one is the one that I have the least hopes for, because that series is so hit or miss. But I think that we should be able to finish this and the Daisy Chain one today on audio, which is very exciting. Welcome to my kitchen, friends. We are about to make some whatever you have in the house nachos. Unfortunately, there has been an issue with lettuce around the country, and I don't have it in me to risk explosive diarrhea. So, though I wanted to be like a really healthy girl this week and eat salads, the universe said, nah, bitch. So I was able to come up with some stuff for nachos. I don't even have chips. I'm literally using tostadas, but it's all good. It's what we have. Got a little container here for some toppings. It's not expired. Okay. So, I'm going to prepare some nachos while I tell you guys about the rest of Unbound by Peyton and Corinne, and it was in fact not a 5-star. It was giving such 5-star potential for like the first 50% of the book, but it fell into that trap of it just being too long. Like, unless you're gonna do slow burn to the point of them not really kissing until like 70 to 80% of the book, I don't need my romance book to be nearly 500 pages. And that's just my personal opinion. You can disagree with that. That is fine. I don't really give a shit. if you feel differently. It's the beauty of reading, is we can all feel differently. I always way overshoot how many like chips I need for like a single serving of nachos. I'm trying to like undershoot it, and then worst case, I have like berries and stuff in the fridge that I can eat. So, in the second half of the book, we continue with this past present timeline and figure out what happened that initially, oh my god, the onions in here, oh, smells so strong. We learn what caused their breakup and their distance and like the separation between the two of them, and like that essentially broke both of their hearts, which, check your trigger warnings. There's tons of talk of SA in this book. But we learn more about what exactly had happened to lead to them breaking up, which was a jump scare when we figured that out. Horrifying scenario. And we learn how they've been dealing with the breakup since. We get to see Bennett deal with his autism and his anxiety, and how him and his dad's relationship has greatly like decreased. They're very, very, very close in the beginning of the book, and we get to see that something happened that led to a fallout between them. So getting to see that, getting to see him go to therapy, getting to see him open up to his friends, and his friends open up to him, and their relationships all get to grow. One of my favorite parts of this book was getting to meet Lily, who is in fact Paloma's roommate. I really loved her character and getting to see her, meet her, and hear her story. She's completely deaf in one of her ears, and she comes from this really wealthy family, but like is kind of like treated like a child a lot of the time. So I really enjoyed getting to see her story as well. And yeah, overall, I think it was a really great installment in this series. Actually, I'm not sure if it is the final book. Let me see if on Goodreads, if it shows there being more books in this series. That's something I deeply don't know. Unbound by Peyton, Corinne. The series also is called the Undone series, and the last book is called Undone. And it is about Lily. So there is going to be a final book called, I think that would probably be the final book, because the series is called the Undone series, and then that book is called Undone. So I'm assuming that will be the end, but it is in fact about Lily. I was hoping we were going to get a full book about her, because I really, really enjoy her character. So I'm actually very happy to hear about that. I am still butthurt, mad, pissed off about the cover situation, because that means I will have half of the series in the new covers and half of the series in the old covers, and that does piss me off, but it is what it is. Sheet pan nachos going in. I usually cook them for about 8 minutes, and then I turn the, it's not preheated, so I'm gonna do September 10 minutes. Gonna cook those for 10 minutes, and then I will turn the broiler on for 2 minutes to make the top crispy. So they do like a bit of a crispy top. But yeah, so overall I did really enjoy this book, but that little sparkle that I had in the beginning, thinking it may be 5 stars, unfortunately did dissipate. But still 4 stars, which is really good. And now I'm gonna move into the Daisy Chain Flower Shop. This series, this one, Dream Harbor, has been extremely, and I mean extremely hit or miss for me. There are some books that are like a high 4, and then there are some books that are a 2. So we will see where it goes. I like the vibes of it, and it's about this girl Daisy, from what I know, and she's like unlucky in love, and people think her flower shop is cursed. So I do kind of like the vibes of that. I like the flower shop of it all. So I am interested to see how it goes. I feel like I've not been in this world in a while. I feel like I kind of zoomed through the first 5 books, because this is book 6 in the series and the final book. There is like a novella that I think only came out physically in the UK or something like super strange. Like I feel like that's definitely a choice, but I think it might be coming out in America because I did see it on Amazon. I don't really know, but as of right now, this is the end of this series as we know it. This book, but in the meantime I'm going to have lunch and then I will start this one up. Let's see how long the audio is. I got this one on Everand because the wait was incredibly long on Goodreads. So 8 hours, yeah, that I'm gonna click on it to see like the actual length. Yeah, so this is gonna take me 2 hours and 53 minutes at my current listening speed. So that'll be pretty simple. We'll get through that today for sure. And then you guys will see this video on Thursday? Hell yeah. Work and I didn't realize I was at 60% of this book. So far so good. It's feeling like a 4-star, which I am excited about because like I said, this series has been quite hit or miss all the way down to 2 stars for some of the books, but this is about our girl named Daisy. Daisy comes from this long line of women also named Daisy, her mom, her grandmother, so on and so forth, and the flower shop called Daisy Chain Flower Shop has been passed down from person to person. When a series of unfortunate events happens with a lot of the people who get their wedding flowers through the Daisy Chain Flower Shop end up having weddings and marriages that dissolve very quickly, as well as the fact that Daisy has not only an ex-husband but an ex-fiance and is very unlucky with love, people now start to think that the flower shop is cursed. And so now she's only really getting business from like funerals, any weddings they had booked canceled, and she's just feeling really over it. One day she's at the shop working when the doorbell rings, or like the door chimes, and in walks her ex-fiance and his new girlfriend. They're in town because they're thinking about maybe getting married in Dream Harbor. Annoying. And they're kind of talking, and she, spur of the moment, sees this guy, Ethan, is that his name? Elliot. Elliot enters the scene, he enters the establishment, and she's like, oh, there's my new boyfriend. He plays along with it because he's kind of had a crush on Daisy this whole time. He plays along with it, she thanks him, they move on. Incoming, like later that day, is a town meeting where everybody's kind of dogpiling onto Daisy, telling her how she's cursed, the flower shop is cursed, everything's cursed, and Elliot and her love life is blah, 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 blah. Elliot stands up and is like, no, she's not cursed in love, we've been dating for a month. And so with this, they now are into this whole fake dating thing to kind of get the town off of her back. To get the town to see that she is not cursed, as well as to get Elliot's mom off of his back, because Elliot also has an ex-wife, and his mom is very worried about him. He hasn't really been getting out dating in like 2 years now, and she's very concerned about his love life. So he thinks that maybe if he happens to have a new girlfriend, then maybe, just maybe, his mom will get off of his back about dating. So that's kind of where we're at now. They are fake dating. They're really pulling it off. Everybody in town thinks that he is in love with her, and she has kind of proposed to them like a friends with benefits scenario, and also she's trying to teach him how to start dating again. He denies the friends with benefits thing because he straight up tells her, like, I'm afraid I would fall in love with you, and she's kind of sworn herself off to ever pursuing a serious relationship again because of how badly her last relationships have ended. But that's where we're at. That's how it's going. I'm having a good time. And overall, this could be like a whole video of 4-star reads. My average rating this month is great. Overall, hell yeah. I was gonna start this with I finished this book many moons ago, but the fact is it's 1 moon ago because the moon has come out approximately 1 time since I finished this. I finished this about 5 hours ago, okay? And I did give it 4 stars, which I'm very happy about. I'm happy to be done with this series. I really, again, loved how integrated the characters from the other books were, and I also just really, I love, which we've talked about in this video, yes, with Out of the Woods. I really enjoy a romance book, especially being somebody who is 30, where like the characters, not that she was necessarily old, but like, not that 30 is old. I digress. I like when my romance books have characters that have gone through a bit of life. And with Daisy having been married and divorced when she was like 19, as well as then engaged again, dealing with like this pressure of having this flower shop, like, was very fascinating to me. And also with Elliot having been divorced as well, I really liked that aspect of getting to see a deeper side to these characters because they have experienced more life than a typical, like in Unbound. They both had experienced a lot of life, but they were in college. So I like getting to read about people who are like older. I think that that is very, very fun, fascinating, and a great time. There was this aspect that I really, really liked about this story that, again, intertwined some of the other characters, where Elliot, he's big into history, and he was doing a lot of research on the history of Dream Harbor, which I do have to say, I do love this. The map of Dream Harbor is so cute. So he was doing a lot of this research and was finding out information about the daisy chain flower shop and its origins. And they found this one photo where the woman in the photo looked exactly like Daisy. And so they went on this like ancestry rabbit hole, which I find ancestry to be fascinating. So they went down this entire rabbit hole of figuring out who this lady was and how she came to be. And then there was a guy in the photos who looked very similar to Elliot, and them kind of like uncovering like different histories of their families within this town I found to be so fun, and I love stuff like that. So that was a really great, unexpected part of this story. And yeah, I just had a pretty good time. And of course the covers for these books are absolutely adorable. I don't know if you guys can tell, there is like some pink foiling on this. I do think this might actually be my favorite of all the covers. I just think the florals are so fun and pretty. But yeah, it was really good getting to see Daisy break this curse that she felt like this town had basically declared her to have, and getting to see how she was able to almost break this cycle that has been happening like with this ancestor in these photos, and the pressure that's been on her for this flower shop, and getting to see Elliot find happiness with her, and they get a dog. And overall, I had a really good time with all of the books in this video, which is really, really exciting. If you made it to the end, you can drop me a flower emoji for the daisy chain flower shop, or you can drop me a writing emoji for Unbound because they're into poetry, or you can drop me a tree emoji down below for Out of the Woods, whichever book is your favorite of the 3 or which you're most excited about. Let me know. And I already have planned another continuing series video based on my TBR that I picked, which you will see probably 2 or 3 videos from now. My next video up should be either the Hannah Bonam-Young ranking or a finishing my TBR reading vlog. I usually film very far ahead and get shit uploaded, but I've just been a little all over the place. So with that being said, that is going to be everything, my friends. I will see you next time. Bye.